Hello everyone, Shane Olson here. Hey, it's been a while. I hope this is working. Um, yeah, if you can hear me okay, say hello. It's been a while. So, that's why I'm a little bit late, but better late than never, right? So, hopefully this thing's working. We can get going. If you can hear me. Hey, Neil. How's it going? How is the sound okay? Does it look good? Is it all good? It's been it's been a while, so just trying to get into the groove of things. Hello, hello. Awesome. Welcome, guys. All right. Let's see here. So to start out, got to brush off the cobwebs. It's been actually I've been doing a lot of freelance, so it's not like I'm out of practice sculpting, but out of practice streaming. So yeah, it's a bit different. Oh, people are. I gotta turn off my indications. Oh, that's just you, Neil. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. All right, the thumbnail came through. Is the description working? It's pretty cool. They allowed me to put my own description and stuff in there, so I got to get better at doing descriptions. Okay. Hello, welcome. Now this guy, I think he's a crocodile, or an alligator. I think alligators have the thinner snout, so I think it's an alligator. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of stretch this out, and for his kind of his body first, and then I'll just kind of work his head out. We'll figure that out. Around the world in 30 days. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I've had a bit of a I've been dealing with some health issues, so but now I'm feeling great, doing good, and happy to be going back again. All right, so I'm going to use this clip curve brush. This clip curve, this is like I I want to say it's like a clips, it's like a smash brush. It kind of takes all the geometry and smashes it. So if I hold down Control plus Shift and draw a line like this, it's going to take everything on the faded side of the line and squish it down to the, down here. So if I show you the wireframe, it looks like this. It's all squished. Looks like a, oh, you're probably right, Cakester. I can't even say that. A gharial? Is that how you say it? Gharial? Rather than the crocodile? There's so many different varieties of species of crocodile, alligator, whatever you want to call them. Sea. There's like sea versions. Okay. So now right away, what I want to do is get into dynamic topology. And if you guys know me, if you remember my streams, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of dynamic topology. And also, before we move forward, I want to talk to you about my updated user interface for 2025. I also have it available for 2022. Those of you who are still using that version, but the so you'll see that I have a couple new brushes here. I have this key brush just because I've been doing a lot of models for 3D printing lately, and I wanted it to be a little quicker for when I do keys. And then I have this retopo brush. I don't know if I'll get into using this topo brush while, during this live stream, because there's really nothing to use it for on this guy. But essentially all it is a Z modeler brush. Oh, Neil, look at this. I didn't load the latest UI in. Yeah, I forgot I missed, I altered my Z modeler brush. That's what this is. And then I forgot to add back in the Z modeler brush, and Neil caught me on that. So I forgot. Yeah, Big Lizards. Um, there's like an album called Big Lizard in my backyard. Yeah. You guys remember that one? That's okay. I can still use this as a Z modeler brush because that's all it is. It just has some settings. So not a big deal. Okay, so let's do the dynamic. Oh, that's another thing. Neil, could you write this down and remind me later? I need to turn Sculptris Pro to adaptive off, and then save it again and upload it again. So okay. By default, this sphere that comes with my user interface, it has dynamic subdivisions turned on by default. I'm going to hit apply on this and then go over to geometry and delete lower, which will delete the subdivision levels and apply them. You'll see that. See, it's kind of like this. And now when I hold down shift and I smooth, oops, I got to turn off. Oh, it's been a while, kids. All right, here we go. I need to reload custom UI. If ever, oh goodness. Well, I have the one loaded, Neil, that has the problem. So let me quickly load the proper one. Here we go. Let's go load UI. I'll just quickly go over and load it. Sorry, I feel like I'm unprepared. Let's get this going. Is that it? All right, there's the Z modeler brush and there's our menu. Okay, we're good. Let me store config. Config, store config. Whoops, not save UI. Store config. I say one thing and do another. Okay. Hey, what's up, Matt? How are you? Yeah. So it will be uploaded soon. Okay, I got to turn off spotlight projection. That's it. Okay. And Neil, if you could make another note, I got to turn off spotlight projection. I don't know why they're on by default in this UI, but anyway, it is what it is. So let's test this. A little too dense. That's better. Okay. So I want my triangles to be about that size, maybe a tad smaller. That's good. Okay. So what I did was I turned off adaptive scaling on this dynamic topology. And what dynamic topology is it creates the triangles as you sculpt. So I'm just holding down shift for smooth, and you can see that it's adding all of these triangles as I smooth. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And what if I turn off adaptive size under stroke right here, what that does is it locks the triangle size to the size of my scene rather than brush size or something else, right? This is the thing I like. Yeah, Neil's gonna have a large notebook. I hope not. I hope it's like a few sentences. Oh, you need to use Z Startup Master. Do you guys know if Z Startup works on 2025? If you know, I have it loaded on my version. I have both versions because I work with clients that are still using 2022, and I need to be able to open those files and work with them and then save them and send them back. So yeah, I kind of have two versions of ZBrush. Looking out for an art test. Nice, Matt. Let me know how that goes. Okay, so now that we have this wire, and I know that my triangles are going to be the right size, I can go ahead and hide the wireframe for now. There we go. Hey, Conrad, how are you? Good to see you. You're about to join my course. Awesome. That's great. And if you guys don't know, I do have an online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. I've been running it for about 6 years now, and I have over 2,500 students. It's actually getting kind of close to 3,000, which is crazy to me. Yeah, that's just bonkers. But yeah, I've loved every minute of it. I love to help people get better at making stylized characters. It's really fun. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking at this arc here, and I'm just going to kind of pull this down, smooth it out as I go. Yeah, Conrad was asking me what the difference is between my live streams and my course. Like, why not just watch my live streams? And the biggest difference is I teach mostly the art. I do teach the tech, like I teach a lot of ZBrush in the course itself, but I mainly focus on the art side of things, like how to match a concept, you know, like how to make the concept look good. Okay. Sometimes you'll get these little, see this little hole happening like this. You can kind of smooth your way out of it. This is really strange though. I don't know why it's doing this, but I'm going to try to run scrape over it. There it goes. Okay. So, let me talk to you about these brushes really fast. So you guys might have my brushes that I've had up forever, that I've given away for free forever. And there's been some people that have complained about, well, your icons cover the words, right? So I changed the icons so it doesn't cover the words. And then each brush started with 3DCW, which stands for 3D Character Workshop. And so all of these brushes, it would start with those, you know, those 4 letters, and then it would say what the brush name was. Which it was nice because if I hit B, it gathered them all in one place, because I could hit B3. Sounds like a battleship. Oh, I still have my old brushes here, so you can see them. See these icons, they cover the words, and then it's this big long name. It's nice because it gathers them all together, but the problem was you couldn't really see the name of what each brush was. So I kind of decided to try and get rid of that prefix and just call it what it was. But the problem is if there's a brush that already exists that has the same name, like flatten, for example, then it will default to the default brush that ships with ZBrush rather than the custom brush. And so I would name this flatten, and it would get replaced by the original flatten. So I had to change the name to scrape. And so you might, like, this is supposed to be pinch, but I changed it to gather because that's kind of what it does. It gathers the geometry together. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what I've been going through with updating my brushes. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Okay, let's continue on here with the snout. We're going to bring it way high. And what I love about this snout is just how thin it actually is. It gets really, really thin down here. And what that means is I'm going to have to increase the density of the triangles so I can get thin without it disappearing, because you can literally smooth this out of existence. So if I keep smoothing, see, it just goes away if I keep going. And that's not what I want. So I'm going to use move infinite, which will kind of move infinite shoots your brush all the way through to the other side. I mean, it does have symmetry on, so it is kind of shooting through the other side, but I mean through the middle and everything. It will move it all. And it's best to use this move infinite brush when you're snapped to an orthographic view. If you have perspective on, or you're turned to the side like this, and you try to use move infinite, it's actually going to move the geometry on the opposite side of. It's kind of like shining a flashlight all the way through your model. It's going to move the back side of it too. So you got to be careful and snap it to the side like that. Okay. And I can also use clip on this guy like this. And as you pull out this clip brush, you can tap on Alt and you'll put a little curve in it. This, and you can do it several times if you want, like that. See, it kind of squishes it. And again, it's just squishing it up there. And then I can clean this up with smooth. No biggie. But that's how I can kind of get that flat bottom of the clip brush. Okay. And another thing I could do is see how the snout, the very tip of the snout, is kind of bigger and round. But if I use the inflate brush And sometimes I don't always want dynamic topology on. This blue background's kind of making me lose my purple, the purple of this brush, unless I'm up into this light up here. Let me see what happens if I crank that. I'm just kind of testing this stuff a little bit too, but if I crank the range down, maybe that's better. Hey, what's up, Ian? How are you? Okay, I'm going to go a little more dense on this. I'm going to use my mask lasso, because what I was going to say is if I use my inflate on this side, it's going to affect the back side and it's going to ruin that nice cut that I just did. Okay, so to avoid that, I'm just going to put a little bit of a mask right there. Okay, that way I can inflate this side with a more dense geometry, as you can see, and then just kind of pop it up like this. Now it's not quite that pointy. All right, you'll notice that when I smoothed, it kind of lessened the density on that. So there's actually two sliders that go along with, it's called Sculptris Pro, which I call dynamic topology. There's this polygon size and the subdivision size. And if I roll this one down, this is basically, oh, sorry. It's hidden. I don't have it out on my UI. This is, I haven't used it for a while. This one is flood fill. It will actually fill your entire object with whatever density you stop on. See, it just filled it with that density, which is fine. Oh, it worked for you? Awesome, Neil. That's great. I need to get it installed. Hey, Ian, are you still here? If you are, could you tell me if, you know, the Z startup plugin, is that official to use with 2025? Is that okay? Is there any issues with that? Just curious. Okay. I'm just kind of looking at this snout. I might want to pull it wider before I inflate it. So I'm going to undo that, clear that mask, and I'm going to kind of make it wider. I'm going to go like this and look at it from the bottom. And if you hold down Shift, you can actually turn your intensity all the way to 0 and still flood fill with triangles without actually smoothing, which is a nice little tip. Okay. And then I can grab my move brush and we can just pull this snout a little wider from underneath. I could use move infinite back there if I wanted to. That's pretty dang dense. That's a little too dense. It should work just fine. Awesome. Because I know there was an issue with it before for a little bit. Okay. Too dense. That's better. Okay, that's good. I like it. All right. But I do want to turn smooth on a little bit now. Maybe half. Smooth that out. Make it look like butter. Look at that. All right. That's looking much better. Now I can mask this off. Let's go a little further down. Maybe to here, just in case. And when you have more geometry, if your geometry is more dense, your mask edge will be sharper. So I'm just going to hit blur mask on this. And if you're wondering, this is my custom UI, and this is the one I give away for free with my brushes. You can find a link to that down in the description. They're free if you want to use my user interface. Okay, so now we can inflate this. That feels better. Okay. Smooth it back down. We're just trying to get that nice and round. And then I'm going to switch to move and kind of pull it up. All right. That is good. Hey, Neil, are you able to post on YouTube yet? Links? Can you do links? Okay, the beauty of Sculptris Pro / dynamic topology is that, is the audio low, Marvin? Let me know, guys. I can crank it up just a little bit more Is that better? Hey, Ian, are you still here? I just wonder if you could add Neil and make it so he could I think I asked you this before. Can't remember. Maybe we can talk offline if you want. I would just like it's so Neil could post links on YouTube. He can do it on Twitch, but not YouTube. Okay. I don't know if that would be cool or not. Hey, what's up, Tom? How are you, man? Okay, so with these nasal cavities, I want to do, let's see, I just need to build up the surface. So for that, I can either use this fill brush and just kind of build it up like this, which is what I might just do. Let's go a little wider over here. Okay, all right, Ian. Yeah, it's like mid-stream chat weirdness. All right, thanks, dude. So I'm still just kind of building it up over here. Sometimes the fill brush, it works great when it's dense polys, but it doesn't really build up fast enough for me sometimes. So let me turn up the intensity and see if it will. Yeah, that's all right. And you can also hold down Alt and it will carve. So it'll push in and then pull out. So it's kind of a scrape brush by itself. Okay, let's see how dense we are. I need to go even a little more tighter with the triangles. Yep, okay. Ooh, there we go. Got to hang out with Glenn the other night. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Glenn's amazing. So if you guys don't know, Glenn Southern, he's awesome. I love to talk to Glenn because he's always dabbling in everything. Like if there's a new program out, he's playing with it, you know? And not only playing with it, but he's teaching it. Like he'll learn it really quickly and then he'll do some YouTube videos on it. Like even VR stuff and yeah, he's great. And he knows his stuff really well. I think he teaches at a university now, right? Tom, I think I can't remember. I'm just using the move brush to just kind of shape things. And I just want to kind of get that elongated nostril hole. So the move brush does not work with dynamic topology, but Snakehook does. So you can kind of see how this geometry is getting stretched out inside that nasal cavity. But what I can do, sometimes I like to use the move brush because it gives me a little more control than the Snakehook brush. Don't let Ashley hear me say that. But and then I come back with smooth, and then I add the triangles back in, and that makes them smaller again, so they're not all stretched. Okay, just gonna kind of pull this out, smooth it down. You'll notice that that's all I do. Move, smooth, move, smooth. That's how we do it. Hey, what's up, Will? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Give me some water. Okay, now this curve is way too long. Did you reduce the smooth intensity for Sculptris Pro? I did. Yep. Okay. Now this detail brush that I have, it's essentially the Damien standard brush, the DAM standard brush, but it's a little smoother. Like when you go around the corners and stuff, it doesn't turn into dots or like slices. It stays pretty clean. And sometimes I like to turn off dynamic, like Sculptris Pro, when I'm using this brush, because especially with I think pinch brush is built in, which is now it's called gather. We gather here today. Um, that gather brush I have dynamic turned off for sure, because if you have it turned on, it kind of goes against itself. You know, it's like trying to build new geometry where you're trying to gather it together and it just kind of, it doesn't work. Okay, there we go. Now, it's weird snapping this to the side because it's up in the air like this. So it's not, I'm used to it like snapping either on a straight axis or not, you know. All right, move infinite. Let's kind of get this tighter here. It's actually very tight, but what are you going to do? Sometimes when you're talking and sculpting at the same time, it's like walking and chewing gum at the same time. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to do. So what are you all working on today? Sometimes I think I should have music on my stream, and then other people are like, no, don't. Come on, snap this. All right. Oh, you started your Luigi sculpt? Awesome. I still need to, I want to do one too. If you're wondering what Neil's talking about, for my students of my course, I have a Discord, a private Discord that comes with the course, and occasionally we'll have monthly challenges. I'm trying to do them every month, but sometimes we don't always get to it. But yeah, monthly challenges, and this month we're doing just anything designed by Luigi Lucarelli. I think that's how you say his last name. Some people say it Lucarelli. I think it's Lucarelli. Sounds Italian, but he doesn't look Italian. I don't know. This kind of looks like an elephant or something. All right. And this bottom jaw is so skinny. I need to work that out. But I wanted to start with this, and I think I made this too long here. So I need to shorten it up. I want to mask this whole thing off and then blur it on out. Then I can use the gizmo somewhere in the beginning of that blurred masked area like this. And I can point this blue arrow kind of up at the nose, the end where I want it to scale from or to. Then just kind of bring it on in like this. Now that is kind of squishing this end nose piece. So I think I'm going to do a combo, like a move plus scale, because I don't want it to scale too much and squish on itself. So, and if I move it too much and I end up like overlapping geometry, that's the beauty of Sculptris Pro. I can just come back in here, clear that mask, and just smooth it out, and it fixes itself. But man, that's getting dense down here. I got to turn that back down. So let's turn that down. No. Still too dense. Too light. Hey, Nikita, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, that's about medium. Okay. I feel good about that. I don't know why I'm sculpting with my mouse. So how have you all been since I've been away? What's new? Okay, I kind of want to get this right up in there. Smooth it back down and then push it up again. Sometimes I kind of wish that I could like be out here in space and push it up from here. You can do that in some VR programs, which is wild to me. But that's kind of the nature of VR. Your hands are in space. It's just kind of a whole unique feeling and way of sculpting, but that's kind of where it ends. to be honest, because with VR sculpting, it's like I like it a lot. There's a lot of things to love, but at the same time, I feel like any second I could like literally fall through my sculpt, you know, because there's nothing there to give you feedback, you know. So let's see, I gotta pull this out. Hey Vivek, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I think I could turn this off so you can see what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm whispering. Smooth that down. Okay, so with, we'd probably do that to the upper as well. Yeah, I'm not liking that shape. Whoops. Just kind of come through here and clean it up. Okay, what I'm gonna do with this mouth is I'm gonna mask it off, but I feel like it's way too wide. So I'm gonna pull this in like this. And same with the mouth up here. I'm just gonna kind of pull it in. I just kind of want this long, skinny, nicely curved snout. Hey. Hey, Unstable Molecules. Welcome. How are you? Yeah, it's been a while. I had some health issues and just some things going on, so I paused for a while, but now I'm back and it feels good to be back. Feels good to be sculpting again. Yeah, see, now it feels even more like an elephant. I don't want to go too skinny where the eyeballs are. I'm surprised how well you control the Sculptris Pro mesh. I've been struggling with it a lot recently. So I think the key to that is to make sure that your adaptive is turned off, and then your like triangle size is set to something that's manageable for what you're working on. I think that's the key. At least that feels like the key for me anyway. Okay, so now we're going to pull this mouth in further. And the tongue's going to be sticking out there, so... Hey, Tom, I think you're answering questions from a long time ago. I wonder if you're watching like it from the beginning. And you can also turn down the Z intensity of your move brush, and it will move it. It'll move things slower. Because I kind of want to move the top of his mouth in, so it has this ridge, and then that's kind of where the teeth will live, is along that ridge. And so I can kind of push it in like this. So it's in the description, I think. Is it not? Yeah, it's in the description. Its name is Oleksandr Kayda. He's from the Ukraine. I think he lives in Kyiv. I don't know how you say that. Just gonna smooth all this out. Yeah, thanks, Neil. Oleksandr Kayda, that's how you spell his name. You can find him on Instagram. He does some fantastic designs. I think I've modeled a lot of his designs, either in ZBrush or other programs. When he designs, he just keeps things really super clean, and I love it. And it's crazy because it looks like from his designs, it looks like they wouldn't work in 3D, but yeah, he really knows his design, like, and it works really well in 3D, but he pushes things so skinny, just like this lower mouth. So sometimes it's quite the challenge to get it to look like the concept with it being that skinny. And it's not great for 3D printing to have things that skinny either. So I probably won't 3D print this. This is just kind of a warm-up to get back into things. I really liked the design, so. Yep, you're welcome. Okay, so now he's got this hollowed out mouth. And I kind of want to do see this mouth, this bit of like mouth meat up here, this hangover and roll. I want to see if I can get that and then add a little bit of thickness here. I think I want to extend this lower lip out more. I'm creating 20 different mimic models for D&D to freak my players out. Nice. Like different furniture and stuff. Okay, for this one, I think I'm going to use the standard brush. I don't hardly ever use the standard brush, but I think for this lip roll, I think it's perfect. I'm going to go a little more dense with it, though. Yeah, there we go. Two streams in a week. Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up, Zofo. So I have a channel called the 3D Character Workshop, And what I'm trying to do is stream on Tuesdays on my channel and stream Thursdays over here. So, that's something. Neil, could you write that down again? He's going to have this big list. In the description, I need to put a link to my YouTube channel. But if you just do a search for 3D Character Workshop in YouTube, you should find my channel. It's got about 10,000 subscribers, something like that. And it has a logo of a bear, I think. Should be able to find it okay. And let's try my cloth brush. It's wanting to go like sideways. That's better. Okay, here we go. Whoop. I think it helps if sometimes you make the noise, you make noises when you sculpt. You guys make noises when you sculpt? Like Pee Wee Herman. Got some warbles happening here. Did you also, so did I see you also updated your UI and brushes? Yep. So yeah, I started the stream talking about it, but I can talk about it again. I have not uploaded them quite yet. I'm still working on them, but they're, yeah, you can see right here. I updated all of the icons for all these brushes to make it so you can see the words, and then each one of these brushes now are just a single word instead of the 3D CW in front of that, so you can actually read what the brushes are. The downfall of that is when you hit B, you can't group them all together because each one of them starts with its own letter, you know? So you just kind of have to find them like you find any other brush in ZBrush that ships with ZBrush. And then I added this key brush, which helps out with 3D printing. And then this retopo brush, which is essentially just a Z modeler brush with some settings applied to allow you to do some retopology, and it snaps to the surface. It's pretty cool. And I use it all the time, so I thought I'd add it to the user interface. And then, see, oh, Neil, I forgot to add the Smooth Stronger into my folder too. Right here will be Smooth Stronger, right there. And I'm missing it. I want it right now because I want a Smooth Stronger right now. Because when you get a super dense mesh like this, you typically need Smooth Stronger because of how dense it is. Thanks, Neil. There you go. Neil posted a link to my YouTube channel so you can see. Got a pretty good turnout today. Between Twitch and YouTube, we got about 78 people watching. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. It's been a while, I know this. Maha man, hey kids, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. I have a noise gate. I have a new audio interface for my microphone, and I think the noise gate is set a little too high. I don't know if you guys hear it kind of kick in and kick out. Sometimes it'll pick up my pen tap. it's a little too harsh. So my cloth brush is essentially like a softened standard brush. There we go. And I want it to like softly dig into the surface. That's good. Okay. Is there an alternative to Move Geometry Brush? I tend to get a stair-stepped effect, something like 3ds Max Bend modifier that produces a smoother result. Move Geometry Brush. There kind of are modifiers in ZBrush that you can use. Like a bend modifier, if that's what you're looking for. Here, I can show it to you really quick. So I'm going to add in my subtool, I'm just going to append, I'll just append the sphere. Okay, it's got this big old sphere down here. And then I'm just going to make it long, and just so we have something to bend. Whoops, come on. Scale on down. There we go. Okay, so we have this this sphere, and say we want to kind of bend it. You can. It's underneath the gizmo, underneath this gear right here. If you click on this gear, there's these modifiers. They're not really called modifiers, but that's kind of what they are and how they work. So there's this bend arc, bend curve. And I think this is the one you're after, bend curve. So click on that. And then you'll get this kind of freeform deform modifier box around your object like this. And you can kind of line it up to your object. And then there's these little handles on the end here. Can you see these handles? There are these little cones. And it will tell you what they are if you hover over them. See, this is if you want symmetry on or not. The blue one is which axis you want. You can pull this and it will change axes. So like Z, Y, X. So if we're going to bend it down the length, you want to see these two orange dots, one at the beginning and one at the end. And then this is if you know how smooth you want the bend. And then this one is the important one, this orange one. This is curve resolution. So if I start to crank this up, you'll see it starts to populate the length with these orange dots. And then you can grab these orange dots and just move them around. And then you start to get the bends. Now, the bends, that sounds like something you should get looked at. So this geometry is not the best geometry to bend, you can see. So let's, hold on a second. Let me undo this and I'll get rid of that bend modifier. And then we're going to Z-remesh this because this is a sphere that has a pole on the top and the bottom. It's not the best thing to bend. So we're going to go into Z-remesher and we're going to set this to, let's say 1, and that stands for 1000. We'll hit Z-remesher. There we go. That's a much better mesh to bend. And we can actually put, I think we can do subdivision levels on top of that. And then we can bend it again. No, you can't bend something with subdivision levels. It won't let you. So I'm going to just subdivide it once and get rid of that lower geometry. So now it's just more dense. So this is the resolution that we have now. Let's try it again. One more time. Bend curve. There we have the resolution. And now it bends a lot cleaner. See that? Whoop. I think that's what you're looking for. Now, if you want to leave it editable, you can. You don't have to accept it, you know, and say, I'm done with this. You can just leave it like this and then go like change to a different subtool and keep sculpting. Or if you want to sculpt on the surface, then you have to go back into this gear and hit accept like this. Okay. And now after I hit accept, now you can sculpt on it, or you can subdivide it or do whatever you need to do. Okay. So that's all there is to it. Yeah. And you are welcome. Hope that helps. All right. Delete this. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go back to Gator Boy. Instead of Skater Boy, it's Gator Boy. What time we got? 2 o'clock. Okay, got about another hour. Now, no, you'll notice that I'm not nearly as fast as like Nico from Speed Sculpt. But I know what love is. No, I don't know what that means. Yeah, that guy's speed kind of blows me away. Okay, so and I can go to this gather, which is essentially pinch, and that's what it does. You can kind of see it gathers the geometry together. Gather. And this is quite dense. So when I'm all done, I'll retopologize this and really clean it up. So right now, I'm not really concerned about how like warbly and rough this stuff is. It'll get clean as I go. Okay, so with these eyeballs, these brows actually, you can see they're kind of, it goes all the way across, but it's higher on the outside and lower in the middle. So I kind of want to, I don't want to use move infinite. Oh, I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to have to do it from this side. Or I just move the whole thing up and then move the middle down. I could do that. Kind of get it going. Crank the move strength up a little bit. Yeah, that's working. And you'll see I use the move brush a lot. And the reason why is because it's most like my finger and thumb together, you know, when I'm using like say real clay. Sorry, I was just checking my Discord for a second. Okay, I'm going to pull this out wide. And it kind of comes in like that. And you'll notice as I move stuff, it really starts to stretch this geometry out. So I'm going to flood fill that little area, but it's a little too dense. And that's too... I need to talk to the Maxon peeps about Sculptris Pro settings. Like I want some that I don't want to guess, you know, as much. I just want to have like dense, medium, and light rather than having to kind of go back and forth. I don't know if that's possible because the density of the Sculptris Pro is based off of scene size. So I don't know if that's possible. Tom, I seriously think, I don't know if you're going to catch up to this, but I think you're watching like you're commenting on an earlier version of the live stream and it's coming in like way late. So it sounds like you're crazy. I know you're not crazy. It's funny. It's kind of comical. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Tom does some really good sculpts. If you guys check out his work. Okay, let's see. Comes in here. And then I think I'm going to try and use clay buildup for this next bit, which is, I was talking about this this kind of muscle on the top of the mouth right here. It's very unique, and I want to get the shape right. And clay buildup, the code for that is BCB. So B for brush, C for clay, B for buildup. And you just check to see if you got it right if you look up in this top left corner. I don't use it enough, so I don't have it out on my user interface, but yeah, that's kind of the code for it. BCB. And then it just, and the reason why I don't use it that much is because it leaves a lot of lines behind, like build-up lines. And it's great for like fine sculpting, like fine art sculpting. Like Ryan Kingsland uses this a lot because he absolutely loves fine art sculpting and his anatomy stuff. But for me, having all these like super clean surfaces, it's like I have to build it up and smooth it down, build it up and smooth it down. Tom, yes, my brushes do work with 2022. Okay, but see, as I'm building this up, I can use the edge of this clay buildup as a line. So see this line underneath here? I can kind of cross this. And then I want to dig this out and just kind of bring it up that way. I think I should probably use clay buildup more because it keeps me loose and like not so worried about stuff, I guess. Because I'm trying to keep stuff smooth all the time, and smoothness can come later. Hey, what's up, Steven? How are you? Did I finish the pirate? No, I still need to. Yeah, I was kind of keeping the stream separate. People were asking me too many technical questions, so I got kind of lost in demo land. So I ended up not yeah, this is ZBrush. Yeah, no worries. That's going to be kind of tricky going back and forth. I may end up just, well, who knows? I don't want to say anything. Anyway, how are you, Steven? Well, welcome. Okay. Hot Tuna, what's going on? That's great. Welcome, good to see you. Yeah, see, so now I can kind of use the detail brush and just kind of push this in, pull the other bits out. Doing all right today, that's good. Me too, brother. This is going to be interesting to see. Man, that nose can be a lot bigger. Okay. I'm using clay tubes, clay buildup, and trim dynamic more ever. Awesome. Yeah, those are all great to keep things loose and, workable, I guess. Then you're not too, you don't get hung up on stuff, And this is tricky. These eyes need to be much closer. Often doing some yard work, I'll be listening and periodically watching. Awesome. Hope it's a nice day for you, wherever you are. It's good to get outside and get some stuff done. Okay, so let me kind of block this in with the detail brush and holding down Alt and just kind of drawing in this shape of the outline of that dark area, just to kind of see where that eye would go. Something like that. But then I want to build up BCB. The way to be. Sometimes clay buildup is a little too fast for me too. Too much buildup. I put off yard work until it rains in Orlando. Oh, Orlando. I have history in Orlando. That's where I went to boot camp. I was in the Navy for a while. And I went to boot camp in Orlando. And it rained. Gonna wait until nice. Yeah, and I've also gone to, of course, Disney World. And I remember it raining. I had my fam with, of course, with me. And it rained. It rained at Disney World so much at one time that it was like flash flood. We were standing there. I was with my two little kids. Actually 4 of us, but 2 of them were very small. And we were just kind of standing in this area, and all of a sudden we were kind of underneath an awning in one of the buildings, and so I thought we were good. But then but we were kind of down this little hill, and it's like this water just came rushing, and it was like about, I don't know, 4 inches deep, 5 inches deep. And it just filled right up over our shoes. But what was the weirdest thing about it is it was warm. It was like pea water. I was just like, what is this? What are we experiencing right now? Oh, man. Good old Orlando. Monsoons. Oh, hey, what's up, Dan? So happy to see you returning to the Max on ZBrush channel. Thank you. Greetings from Adelaide, Australia. Awesome. Quite early in the morning. Nice. Well, thanks for tuning in. Honestly, I like the softness of inflate at a low strength setting. Oh, instead of like the standard brush or the cloth brush. Yeah, that works too. I really want to get that smile that he's got. So I'm going to crank, now that I have this in place, carefully crank this up. And I kind of took his smile line a little too far back into his head here. So I'm going to smooth that back out. I think that's working for now. And then I put a kink in his mouth here. So yeah, sometimes using Sculptris Pro is a little unruly, I guess, and get out of control. Yeah, his eyes are way too far apart, so I'm gonna pull those in. That's better. Yeah. I also got to go to Guam, and Guam is pretty much the same as Orlando as far as humidity and rain. And they called it Guaming when it was raining, because same thing. It would just come down in sheets. And there were frogs and geckos everywhere because it was so wet. And those are like wet-loving creatures. You're in Austin. Hot in a sunny day, a little hot. That hat helps. Yeah. Nice. Okay, I'm liking this. I think he needs a little bit of mass on the back for his cranium. I'm going to go ahead and build that up. Speed is a matter of age. We have too much stuff crammed into our heads, and it takes longer to sift through until Hard drives need a darn good defrag. Oh, I wish I could. You know, I was riding home with my son the other day, and I was singing to these old 80s songs, and I knew like every lyric to the song that I can't remember what we were listening to. And my son's like, how do you know? How do you remember all these lyrics? And I'm like, I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. I don't remember anything these days because my entire head is full of song lyrics and movie quotes. so so my hard drive is full of that, full of garbage essentially. Oh, you were stationed in Guam a couple of years? Nice. Yeah, I was a CB, which stands for Construction Battalion in the Navy. I was a heavy equipment operator, and I got a there's a CB base on Guam, and they do rock crushing for the roads there. And what's interesting is it's there's not really rock, it's coral. So it's coral crushing, which is crazy to me. But that was really interesting to learn about. I threw out a gecko from the crib today. No. Oh my gosh. He just wanted to hang out, hopefully get some milk. uh, there were geckos everywhere. So they're like on the walls and like in the weirdest places too. Oh, you're caught up now, Tom. Awesome. Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome to the future. Hold on a second. Okay. I need to get chat above me here like it used to be. And I need to get my logo out here. All right. Bring this down, bring this forward. Okay. There we go. That's feeling pretty good as far as that goes. Coming down and then out. Okay, I need to go much further with the interior of his mouth. So sometimes what I like to do is mask it and then pull that in. But with masking, it won't respect dynamic topology. It'll just stretch the polygons. So I'll show you a little trick that you can do to make that work. And this is another part of the beauty of dynamic topology. So I have this, I just invert it, grab the gizmo, kind of tap on the surface, like right in the middle, then it'll tap to the normal. It doesn't really matter because I can move it in. I'm going to move it along the camera plane, but it's kind of, I'm moving it invisibly. I can't see through it, but I know that that's where the depth of his mouth is right now. I can actually reset this gizmo. And then I can just push it straight back to about here. And again, I have no idea what it's going to look like. So I just rotate it, and now you can see, looks like I missed a bit of the masking. So let's go like clear that, make that mask a little bit better, show the gizmo, reset it. Ever think you will do another big project like the Dino Cowboy or the Pirate Girl on stream again? Those are the best. So Steven, interesting you brought that up, because I've been thinking a lot about this, and I would love to know what you all think about this. I just kind of barely had this idea. I just mentioned it to Neil like right before the stream because I just kind of thought about this. Because yes, what I'd like to do is I want to make, I have one course, I have one big giant course, and it's kind of, getting outdated. It's, I mean, all the info is still good, and it's still relevant. But I don't talk about my latest workflow too much in the older content. When I made the course, it was clear back in ZBrush 4R, what is it? 4R4 or something like that? 4R7, I can't remember. Anyway, so, and I kind of want to get into a cadence of making character after character after character, you know, and then course after course after course. I think that would be a lot of fun. Kind of like what Proco does, Stan Prokopenko over at proco.com. He's a fantastic teacher for anatomy, and I really like how his setup is. But anyway, I was thinking about doing, like, say, a character on stream, and you guys let me know what you think about this idea. I would do a full character on stream from start to finish, and then people can hang out and ask me questions just like you're doing now. And then I will teach, you know, as I'm doing it, a lot more probably. And then if you catch it while I'm live, then you can watch it for free. But if you can't catch the whole thing, or you want to rewatch parts and watch it over again, at the end of each stream, I would make that stream unlisted. So, or take it down from YouTube, and I would turn all of that into a course that you could purchase later if you want to watch it back or watch the rerun or whatever you want to do, or if you only caught parts and didn't catch the whole thing. But for the most part, you know, if that would make it so, you know, people that can't afford a course like that could watch it if they wanted to. And then at the end, I was thinking about selling the STLs so you could print it for, you know, print them out, and also sell the course. And the course would be, if it's just a single character, it wouldn't be nearly as much as like my full big course right now. So anyway, what do you guys think about that idea? Let's see. I'm going to clear this out. See the stretch polygons? I just cleared my mask, and now if I hold down Shift and I smooth this out, I can just fix those stretched out polygons. So that's kind of how I get around that. That way I can use the gizmo pull and then also have dynamic topology at the same time. So now it's much deeper and it works out. Yeah, Steven, so that way I could do much bigger projects, full characters. And I feel like I do better live. I've been trying to record this my most recent character for the course, and I don't know why. I just haven't been able to do it and get it done. It's been like, it's probably over a year since I started it. And then with the lives, if it's a full character, I think I would stream a lot more. Venom pool. No, Hot Tuna, it would have to be a character that that's not owned by, like, say, Marvel, for example, you know, even if it's a mix mashup, you know. Okay, it looks like I got another issue going on right there. I can also inflate this shut, and that fixes it, and then smooth it back out, fixes it. Oh, and then at the end, after I'm all done, I would make a trailer out of the whole, you know, live stream, whatever. And that's what would be up on YouTube after that. But that sounds fun to me, just kind of doing character after character and then turn them into a course. Yeah, I couldn't do like Disney characters or Marvel characters, DC, any of that stuff. It would have to be my own either a commissioned IP, which I have a lot of, I just need to do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Stephen. Yeah, at the end I would do it would be edited. So I would edit out like all the chitty chat stuff. And I would be like teaching more. Could be that you do the live stream, delist the real-time video and release a time-lapse version for free. Yep, that's what I would do. And have the real-time video available for purchase. Yep. So you couldn't do a dinosaur that a venom-like symbiote took over. I mean, I kind of. I could probably get away with that since it's not like venom. But I couldn't do, you know, if it looks like venom, I couldn't do that. I actually sculpted the venom for Disney Infinity. Partially. There was another sculptor that helped out too. I'll show you really quick. Yeah, I sculpted this guy. So there you go. Yeah, this is my art station, by the way. And these are, so I've done plenty of licensed characters, but this is the character that Stephen was talking about. I did her on stream, on a live stream, and this cowboy. These are longer streams. But I didn't necessarily teach the whole time I was doing it. It's more like what I'm doing right now, you know. I'm just chatting with you guys, and privately owned IPs would be off limits. Yeah, I would commission them, Stephen. So I would pay a concept artist like my buddy Josh Black to come up with sweet designs, which I already have done. And I have so that pirate girl was designed by Johannes Helgeson, and I've already commissioned him to make a character design. Another kind of pirate girl, but it's more like a Indiana Jones girl, like a Tomb Raider type girl. No, oh yeah, both the cowboy and the pirate girl are both Helgeson. Yep. Meant to say, do commission original characters and cut in the artists on the STL sales, cross pollinate and prop up. So what I like to do is I like to pay the 2D artists up front for the commission, and then because I don't want the maintenance and the hassle of splitting the sales, if that makes sense. Because I'm very heavily like ADD, I guess. So I get lost in stuff like that. The lower the maintenance, the better. So I just like to pay them outright. But yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, thanks, Mike. Glad you like it. I still sometimes watch Pirate Girl on second monitor as well as Dino Rider. Today I was watching Lion-O Blockout. Nice. Oh my, nice name. Hey man, welcome to the stream. Oh, come on. You'd buy an STL? Cool looking character? Nice. Well, thanks. Yeah, I'm like like the one behind me, this pirate girl that you see, like right there. Yeah, she's very tall. Well, you can see sorry, it's kind of backwards for me. This little girl right here, this is Ahsoka from Disney Infinity, and she's about this tall. So that kind of gives you an idea of how tall that pirate girl is. But I mean, it's an STL, so you can print it out whatever size you want. And I'm doing some local freelance commissions too for another gig, and As soon as that's released, I can show you what those look like. Let's see. I like this kind of throat thing hanging down. It's fun. Come on. Sometimes the pinch brush or whatever you want to call it will just shoot off out into space for no apparent reason. I'd love to see a sculpt to 3D print workflow from you. Thanks. Yeah, I do. That's what I'm doing with this Lion-O character currently. And that's what this key brush is for. You can kind of see it right here. And basically how this key brush works, I can just show you really quick. It'd be fun. Let me save this. And it's been a while. I'm like, where do I save these? Okay. Give me just a second. Okay. Throat bag. Oh, that's funny. You need a sick anti-hero type character. I don't know if I'm the one to give it to you. Okay. But yeah, but that's fun. I'm gonna turn off symmetry. Well, I think it'll be fine if I just click it right here. And then go like this. And so if I was going to separate the front from the back, let's say, I would just stick it in here like this, turn on dynamic topology, and then add some thickness. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. So that's probably too much. So this would be, oh goodness, hold on a second. I forgot to separate it off. I need to split this off first. So I need to go split unmasked points and then make them both visible. Okay, then turn dynamic on this one and give it thickness. So I was actually like dynamically subdividing the Sculptris Pro Gator, and that's not a good thing to do. Okay, so you can see the little tiny bit of thickness that this has. And what I like about this disc is that, let's turn on transparency. This is kind of where the cut would be. You can just kind of rotate it however you want, stick it in there. And then, so what I like to do if I'm going to Boolean something is I'll put it in a folder. So I'll grab this Gator, hit F, call it bool, and then I'll stick this key inside of that folder with it underneath it, and then turn it to subtract, and then turn on live Boolean, and then turn off. Let's see, come on. Oh, I got to turn off transparency, and there it is. You can kind of see the slice and the thickness because you kind of want to have a little bit of a tolerance because there's shrinking and growing of the resin when you go to 3D print it. So you want to have a little bit of a gap, a little bit of space to compensate for that offset stuff. So that's essentially what it does. And then what you do is you go to this little gear and then you click on Boolean with dynamic subdivisions. And you click on that, and that's going to give you a brand new, actually, yeah, it's doing it right now. it's going to give you a brand new two like models like this. Okay, and then you click on this, and then it took a while because this is so dense. And then you just do auto groups, and it should split it into 2 groups. And so I can mask off one of these and then separate it. And there you go. There's your key, and yeah, pretty cool, right? Anyway, that's how that little key works. And so you could key like wrists and shoulders and whatever you want that way. And it works out pretty clean. But anyway, there you go. Then you would decimate that and send it to the printer. I'm going to delete this. And I'll delete that key. I don't need the folder. There you go. Any questions about that? I never printed a solid model. I always do hollowed out models from ZBrush, printed and mounted with threaded inserts on a base plate. Using keys is interesting to me. So threaded inserts on a base plate? Oh, like, okay. So like you buy the inserts and you put them up in there that are already threaded, because you can make like a threaded screw inside and make it 3D printable. So you actually screw it with the print itself, which is pretty cool. Okay. I want to take this, I'm just looking at this again. I want to take this whole thing and just kind of shrink it down. Is this cut? Looks like I still have the key in here because I must have undid this too far or something. Let's go delete hidden. I don't know why that key was still in there. Let me save it out again. Okay. Does that bold side of the key need to be enlarged for tolerance? I already did it. I already enlarged it for tolerance. It doesn't, that's the beauty of using that key insert brush, is that if you use thickness, the tolerance is built in, if that makes sense. And dynamic is on as well. Thanks, Neil. Goodness, that's why it was so slow. Okay. I promise I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. Okay. I just want to kind of shrink this up. Make it not so thick top to bottom. All right. And then his nose, I need to make a lot bigger than it is. It looks really small compared to like his eyes and stuff. It's like this little tiny thing. Okay. Sometimes when you're yapping, you get lost a little bit. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about with the turning live streams into courses. I don't know if that, how viable that is. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Like tolerance built in. He's so happy without any eyes. Yeah. He's like, hey, I want to eat you. I want to pull these nostrils kind of back into the side as well. Yeah, I probably exaggerated it a little too much. I already shrank it quite a bit, to be honest. Okay, I do want to increase the density here. Oh, that's killing it. Let's go better. All right, up and down in density. Okay, yeah, let's get some eyes in there though. That's how you add React. Yeah, I think when I get the teeth in there, that'll really tell me like how close or off I am. That one 3D artist, how's it going? Welcome. And I kind of want to get some, I know it sounds silly, but I want to get some color in here. Whoops. Let's fill it with this. And then we'll get some hard paint going. Now, the thing with dynamic topology is it will actually add the dynamic topology with a paint stroke, which is just fine with me. And I can mask this curve off, or I could just do it by hand, either way. Let's start with, I kind of want to get a little closer. I'm doing great, thanks. How are you? I think I'll paint this like that. Whoop. Okay, we'll have to figure out how far up into the mouth and stuff it'll go. And then one of the reasons I like ZBrush's navigation so much is that it's like on a turntable navigation, so you can turn the character kind of on its side, because I'm right-handed and my elbow and my wrist have a natural arc to them, so I like to turn it on its side where I would get that natural arc, kind of like this, and then go like this. Ooh, and get a nice curve. That's good to hear. I'm all right. Thanks for asking. It's very hot in North Texas, but my AC is saving me. Yep. I'm here in Utah, and it's the hottest day of the summer so far. I think it might reach 100 degrees here. Hello from Iraq. Hello, welcome. Melted already. Yeah, it's a hot one for sure. Okay, so that's a good, I could probably even go further down on the side over here. So let's try it one more time and kind of bring it even lower. I can start up here and just kind of cut into it lower. One sculptor that's really good at this hand painted stuff is Marcus Hartel. If you look up his art, it's really, he loves to do this like graphic this kind of graphic look. It's currently 93 degrees and very humid. Oh, yeah, we don't, in Utah, you don't get the humidity, thank goodness. You definitely get the heat. It's a dry heat, as they say. All right, I just kind of wanted to get that up in there. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, we can grab this kind of darker brown and get that kind of in there, see how that feels. A broken face marlin. I like that. Yeah, it looks crappy till it doesn't. Typically. Ryan Kingsland calls it the Valley of the Suck. And I call it Cringe Canyon. You got to go through Cringe Canyon and make it out on the other side. Humidity isn't normally this bad, but this summer it's a mean one. So does the humidity reaches all the way to North Texas? Because I would think it comes from the ocean, like the Gulf of Mexico / America. Whatever you want to call that. You would think that it would stay further south and not get that far north. Great listen so far, just treating the yard now. It's about 93 degrees. All right, thanks, Hot Tuna. Thanks for listening / watching. I appreciate it, even if you're outside busy. Excuse me. Okay. See, now that that color is in there, I can kind of see that I need to pull it a little closer and give him those angry eyes. And then we'll do some clay buildup and let's get the eyeballs in there to see what we're doing here. I'm a little blind. Sculpting blind. No pun intended. All right, here we go. Save it. Remember to save your work, kids. Let's grab this yellow. Grab a sphere. Don't need live boolean on anymore. And then just click drag. And then I like to split these off into their own poly. We can turn on dynamic subdivisions and then sink them into the head. Like this. 81 degrees in beautiful middle Tennessee. The humidity is horrendous. Oh goodness. Do you have like milestones for saving, or you're rather consistently saving just in case ZBrush decides to sleep? You know, that's a great question. Typically, I will save right before I do a quote unquote scary action. That where if something has crashed on me before or frozen or something like that, or if there's something I can't undo, like splitting off of subtools or things like that, then I'll save it first, and I'll even save off a version. And if you know, there's a save next button if you're using ZBrush 2025, and that will give you a next iteration of your save. So if you have them numbered, it'll give you a next number automatically, which is super nice. Oh, hey, what's up, Daniel? I know I haven't talked at all lately. Thanks for everything you did for me. I got a gig working for DC last year as a character modeler. Awesome. I'll leave a testimonial sometime this century. Nice. Well, I appreciate it, man. It's great to hear from you. That's fantastic news. Would you name them different? Sometimes I end up with 10 different files of the same model. Yeah, okay. So I learned this from my buddy Ian Jacobs. And the way his naming convention is like, here, I'll kind of show you. Yeah. So I love what he has done. So what he does with his naming convention is he kind of has two things. He'll do like name. Here, let's make it not red. Let's go yellow and thicker, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so he'll do like croc, That's so the name of the model, and then underscore whatever it is you're doing, like block out, right? Block out, and then the iteration of that block out. So like say 02, and then he will put, I'm gonna run out of space. Then he'll put underscore the iteration of the entire flow of files. So 10, let's say. So that way you have two numbers. You have the iteration of the blockout, and then you have the iteration of the whole sequence, right? And then when you say save next, it's going to add a number onto this one. That's kind of how it works. So I love that stepped tier, because then it goes, you have a sequential number through your entire linear like workflow, and then you have like sub-sequential numbers on the inside. Yeah, so you don't get those, final. Yeah. And then if you put what you're doing first with the sequence, then you remember what you were doing in that file. Like, what's the last thing you did? Yeah, so let me see if I can show you a list. One thing I've been working on as a freelance thing recently. Okay. Yeah, so I'm doing like a Moses thing, and you can see them all. And I probably didn't, I went against my convention a little bit here. Yeah, I didn't do it here, but I usually do. Let's see, Moses 1, Moses 2. This is posed. This is when I fixed his hair. When I put it into ZBrush 2025, when I merged it, cut it, decimated it, combined it. Yeah, it's mainly about what you're doing at the time. But I should have put the numbers on the end of that with the sequential. Yeah, yep. I'm like, wait, I didn't do it. That's funny. All right, Matt, take care, man. We'll see ya. Okay, let's get back to sculpting. Okay, looks like his eyes are peeking out the back a little bit, so that's good. I know they're a good size here. So we'll go back to this and then continue. All right, and now we can get really angry with those angry eyes. Okay, there's a couple things I can do with, see how close his eye is to the tear duct, I guess. What I can do is get this detail brush, and I can dig in until I reveal the eyeball like that. Which I can do that, but I kind of want to do a mixture. So I'm going to pull the eyeball itself forward a little bit. Maybe in down. Eyeball placement is always a challenge. And you can also turn on transparency to see where that thing lives in the head. Hey, what's up, Leonard? Long time no see. How are you? Okay, so that's closer to the tear duct where I want it, but now I can come in here and just kind of edit this. Whoops, I gotta make sure I'm on the the actual head. There we go. Now we can do that detail cut in trick. And I still have Sculptris Pro on. You're good? Good to hear. There we go. Just kind of cut into that like this. And then let's kind of build up. Let's see how dense this is. Yeah, it's not. I need to go, once you get to a place where you're doing some detailed work like this, you can, that's again the beauty of dynamic topology, gosh dang it, is I can increase the density whenever and wherever I want. So I want. Will the eyes be joined with the main body subtool if sent to print? Yes. And how I do that is I use remesh by union, because remesh by union will combine the two objects together without softening the hard edge in between the eye and the body. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So here, I'll just demonstrate it really quick. Okay, I'm going to append. Let's append a polysphere. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we have this sphere, and I'm going to duplicate it. So we have, oh, come on. Turn off mirroring. Oh, because it's got dang subdivision levels. Yeah, let's do that and delete lower, and now we can duplicate it. There we go. Okay, so we have these two spheres, and say we have this super clean line going down in between these two. If I were to Dynamesh this, that clean line would get destroyed. So I'll just show you. Okay, we have these two objects. Let's go auto group them. Okay, so you can see them both. And then if we go to Dynamesh, and then even if I crank it quite high, like 1400, and then hit Dynamesh, let's see, actually I went really high. Let's go like 512 is what I typically do. Dynamesh. Yeah, okay, see that seam? It kind of gets destroyed. And that's no bueno. I mean, if you look at it from far enough away, it still looks okay. But Leonard, I'm doing fantastic, thanks. Yeah, I'm doing really good. Considering, all things considered. Okay, but if you go into the gizmo, there's this little gear. If you click on that gear, you'll see remesh by union. And what this is doing is it's doing a live Boolean without doing a live Boolean. It's just stitching two objects together. Okay, so click on remesh by union and look at that. It stitches it. It does use little triangles, but it stitches it beautifully. And then if you turn off, if you hit accept and then hit Shift F, you can now see that that seam is just super clean and there's no issues. Yeah, so that's what I would do when you go to, when you go to like stitch it together. Okay. I love hard edges when sculpting, and this makes a lot easier. Yeah, absolutely. This is exactly what I do to keep all of those hard edges. Yeah. Murat, it's coming. It's done. I'm just I wanted to put it through its paces first, and I did run across a couple things that I need to update before I release it to everyone. I will send out an email letting you know if you've gotten my brushes before, you're on my email list, unless you opted out of marketing emails or whatever. Then you'll be notified and you can go grab it again. So yeah, it'll be soon. You'll get it soon. And I'm doing two versions of the ruler project. I have one with this kind of blue background and another one with the old gray background. I'm trying to decide which one I like. Yeah, I do like the blue. Is the blue too much for you guys? Is it too like blue in your face? I did have a gradient on here, but then the purple, this purple gets a little lost. This is the first time I'm in your stream. Where can I find you and subscribe to your newsletter? Thanks, Nico. So there's a couple ways. If you look at the description down below, you'll see my website. It's 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can go there. I have my free brushes for ZBrush, my user interface, and my ruler project, which is just a starting project, all for free on there. And then I offer up a course. It's a full, it's a huge course. And there's I think we're over 2,500 people in there so far. I've been running it for 6 years, the last 6 years. And then I don't advertise this, but I also have a mentorship that I do. It's a yearly mentorship. It is quite, it's more expensive than the course, of course. Because we meet, it's group coaching, and we meet every Sunday. And so I have a mentorship. And then I have a YouTube channel, 3D Character Workshop YouTube channel. And I stream over there on Tuesdays at the same time. So noon Pacific time. And then I stream here, starting today, moving forward. I'll be streaming here every Thursday at noon Pacific. So there you go. Okay, let's delete this. Delete the eyeballs. Yeah, awesome. No worries. No worries. And that my course comes with access to my Discord channel. I'm still debating opening up my Discord to the public. We'll see. I don't know if I want that can of worms. Bunch of randos. No. We'll see. We'll see. I might do it. Checking everything right now. Nico, there's also a contact. So if you have any questions, or if you want to learn more about the mentorship or whatever, just shoot me an email. I'm the only person in my business besides my great helper, Neil, that you see here. So, and I personally read all of the emails that come in. So if you want to bug me, feel free. And if you want to know who I am, I've worked in the game industry for the last 25 years. And now I'm getting into 3D printing and collectibles. I've worked in collectibles for the last, what has it been, 12 years, something like that. So a little cross-pollination. I really love 3D printing and collectibles. Okay, so with this, I'm going to tighten up the graphics. You guys remember that ad, tighten up the graphics on level 3? It was an ad for like a trade school. I love 3D printing, and most of the things I sculpt, I like to print them. Awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to hold your digital work, your digital sculptures in your hands. Make them real, so it's not just on the computer, you know? It's super rewarding. Steven, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was recently thinking about collectibles as well. It's a wonderful experience for somebody to have your artwork. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So some of my work history, I worked for Disney for 10 years, Disney Interactive, and I specifically worked on Disney Infinity. And so a lot of the characters are in people's homes. So it's just really fun to think that my art, even though they don't know it was me, you know, unless they're watching these live streams, they have my art in their home, which is awesome. think about. All right. Well, I have to run, guys. My daughter's done. I got to go pick her up. So, yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Looks like I just have the tongue and teeth left for the most part, and these kind of scaly things on his back and these little dots. So, yeah, he got quite a ways. Not completely done, but getting there. He was quite the challenge with that really thin snout. So, thanks, Mira. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anyway, everybody, thank you again for watching today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, glad to be back. Again, I stream on my channel, the 3D Character Workshop, on Tuesdays at noon Pacific, and I stream on this channel on Thursdays at noon Pacific. So hope to see you all again next week. All right, take care, everybody. We'll see ya. Have a good week. Bye.